Okay, I think I'm live. I think I'm here. Okay. Let me see. I want to share this. Let's see. Honestly, I just want to make sure people in my group are seeing this. Hi. I wonder if anybody's going to pop on this Sunday evening. For whatever reason, I was having a hard time getting on myself. And I'll just be honest, sometimes I get on and do an inspiring live stream and I feel so much better. Like it's just unreal. And so I'm coming on as, kind of a way to give inspiration to anybody who doesn't feel like doing something, but they know they feel better just by getting a message out. That I had this intention. There's this key word for today. I had this intention all week to come on and do a live stream on Sunday. I had a really busy week, just kind of like out of the ordinary, doing different types of things. And so it's just kind of been a whirlwind. But let's talk a little bit. Now, if this is the first time that you might be watching this replay, please make a comment and let me know that you're watching this, and let me know how you're doing, how you're finding this new kind of rhythm of life that we're all a little bit in right now. And I think we're all waiting a little bit to see how that's going to change. So I'm a healer, I'm a psychic, I'm a teacher. I teach classes via Facebook group and online on Teachable. I have some classes there. And I'm a psychic. I specialize in tarot cards, oracle cards, and past life readings. So I love to help you learn about your soul at a deeper level, including past lives that you might have experienced. And then, of course, I'm a healer. I'm a multi-dimensional quantum, healer. I've got some Reiki under my belt. I use different quantum healing tools with regards to sacred geometry, sound, different tones, different images. So all of that is amazing. In fact, I'm actually doing sort of a DNA activation tomorrow on May the 4th day in my private group. You still have time to ask me to join if you want to catch that, plus all the replays. You don't even have to join live. They're just amazing. So last Sunday, I decided to start this thing, and maybe it would be better in the mornings. I'm just kind of checking that out and feeling it out. This is the evening edition. My energy's better in the mornings. My hair was terrible this morning, so that was what really blew it out of the water. Was I just had to wash my hair proper. But last week I talked about synchronicity, and I don't want to repeat last week. I want you to be able to go experience that fresh, and that's the channeling that was going to come through then. But there's that desire to add more synchronicity, and it's that power rests within us to sort of connect our efforts with the efforts of the cosmos, with the universe, with your divine I am presence that helps you create like a magnetic, the other end of that which you desire, it pulls it towards you. And that power is your intention. It's intention, the power of intention. And it's giving your attention to something with the intention to have some type of outcome towards it. And you're going to say, oh, you want to have an open end on what the outcome might be. But you need to step towards with the power of your desire and your intent to do something or to have something manifest for you. And so I've been studying a little bit with the teacher Deepak Chopra, and I say study with him. I'm using audio cassette, books on audio that I have from Audible. This is the same way you can all study from him and learn. He's just like an amazing teacher, and as much as I've owned a number of his books before, and The 7 Laws of Spiritual Success was probably one of my first ever spiritual books that I ever read. And so that's been on my bookshelf and in my life for a while, but it's taken a while to really be able to grasp some of the more multidimensional sort of scientific and also far out there concepts. Okay. You know, I had to be at a different place in my journey to be attracted. Hi, Paula. Good evening. Hello, my dear. So I've just been really, I think the evolution of it is I've been doing a lot of mindfulness work and meditation work for just over a year now. And I did meditation and different types of processes to help me do psychic readings and do different healing sessions for people. But it's so different than when you you go and you be of service, and I have the intention to do a session for somebody of some sort. And so I put on that role, that hat, you know, I put on that archetype of healer or of psychic or of teacher, whatever it might be that I'm working with that particular time. And I go in with that intention, and it usually works out for me. I mean, I haven't flopped too many times. So, you know I have a lot of power with that. You know, I've created some course content that's really lovely. Sometimes I feel like things are a flop, like when I'm in the middle of a really fantastic meditation and my windows are open and all of a sudden my next door neighbors are jumping on their trampoline and screaming like banshees. And I'm like, just take some deep breaths, breathe in and out. So, you know, there's been a couple of times where I feel like there could have been a different outcome, but it wasn't based on my lack of attention and intention going into it. But I've never done this process with the sort of like a process that I do where I sit down, and if I want to manifest something, you know, I've written it down during the new moon time, and I've set my intentions during that time. Hi, Dana. Oh, I've got some of my favorite people that are also part of my Akashic community where I'm going to be doing that activation tomorrow. I think in the morning. I haven't even announced the time for you guys. But yeah, I think it'll be in the morning. I have this sneaky feeling. I'll go post in the group right now, but probably like around 8 a.m. So Pacific time. So anywho, just a little private conversation between me and a couple of my friends here. But what was I saying? Okay. So we have to learn to meditate in order to really connect with the power of our intention, the true power of our intention, because you have to quiet down all of the voices, and usually it's just one voice coming from your ego with a bunch of different stories that would tell you that you can't manifest something, that you shouldn't have something, that you're not worth having it, or it's not worth having, or the goal or the process of getting it isn't worth it at any point. Because there's a lot of times we go out there, we set our intention to get something, and then it doesn't happen, but we actually end up going, but I learned a lot, and I realized I didn't really want that. And so it's that, you know, looking back and saying, and it led me to these other places, which is great, and also very synchronistic when you set your desire and your intention on something. Yeah, Dana confirms you've got to get out of the monkey mind of like going from limb to limb and topic to topic and fear to fear or whatever it might be. Just the loud chatter in your head has got to go. And so I think the very first step is to really set yourself up and set it up with the intention to start a meditative practice. And Deepak Chopra, my teacher at this point, I'm totally just kind of obsessed with him. You know, any chance I can listen to him, I will. You know, on my runs, that's all I'm listening to, no longer listening to music or anything like that. He's like, you know, it doesn't take hours and hours and hours a day. It takes a little bit of time, a couple times a day, not just once, definitely twice. You don't need to do it really more than twice necessarily, because then you can be overdoing it. And you should also have this desire, this drive that to do so, and to really know that it's going to bring you joy and peace of mind and a whole bunch of other sort of side benefits besides being able to get focused and to get your intentions down and do what you want to do. So you slip into this place where you quiet the monkey mind, like Dana said. You get out of your monkey mind. And I like the way Mr. Chopra puts it. He says you sort of slide into the gap. And it's that he does a very eloquent way of explaining it, and I've heard him explain it a number of times on Audible, and so I'm going to try to help to really help you kind of understand that. So you have this place where you can step aside of it, and it's almost as if you're kind of like watching yourself. And I actually sort of really imagine that I'm like popping up to one corner of the room. I guess I've got a corner. I like to sort of, this is a form of astral traveling during meditation, but you take yourself out from the being, the you, to being the watcher of the you, the thinker of your thoughts. So you take them out and you just sort of come outside yourself, and you allow yourself to observe, you allow that sensation of yourself to observe you going slowly and meditating, like not going slowly, but sitting still and meditating. And you guys, I can't even get out of my monkey mind. It's so funny the way you have to kind of do a couple things at once. I can't even get out of my monkey mind by being quiet. I can't. I'm not there yet. Maybe some people can just drop into quiet meditation. Maybe, Dana, you have to tell me, are you there yet? I can't do it. So I have to use primordial sounds. And these sound so primal. I like saying primordial sounds. People are like, what are these sounds? These are like the vowel sounds. Or a really common one is Om. Okay. Om. So that's a very common one, but any vowel sound is a primordial sound where you can go. Another one of my favorites is ah, like the codes of ah. Come on, they're all behind me here. So it's ah. And you get it to the point where you can feel the vibrations inside of you, okay? So we're doing a couple of things. We're healing the different parts of our body, and I'm going to get into the detail on different primordial sounds in like another session when maybe I can be really super loud. I'm done making my primordial sounds because my family's trying to sleep. And I'm not quiet. I learned not to be quiet because you can't be quiet and feel the vibration. Now, after a little while, after you practice with your primordial sounds for a little while, you can quietly think of them, and it will, because you've done it so many times and you've set the intention that if you have to be quiet somewhere and think Om in your head, or think Ah, or oo, or e, like you can do any of the vowel sounds. I mean, any of them. Pick one that works for you, that you really feel the vibrations really well. Like it feels real good. You want to do it. So you find the one that works for you. And that's one way that I go, and I'll do these over and over again. I'll usually be holding my hands in some sort of mudra. A mudra is something like this or something like this. There's different types of mudras that you can hold your hands. You could use one of those counting beads, but I'm not usually doing like 108 ahs or ohms. I'm doing a number of them so that I can get to the point where, and it's like maybe 5 to 10. And they're loud and they're guttural, And I get to the point where I'm like shaking the different parts of my head and my body's vibrating, and then I can feel the slip where I go into the gap, where I slip out of myself and I'm watching myself. And I don't have any thoughts in that moment because all I'm doing is awing or oming. That really takes care of the thoughts, like when you're really trying to feel the vibrations in yourself. And so I'll slip out. And so, yeah, I'm kind of noticing that. I'm sort of conscious in the experience, but I come out, and that's at the point I flood my body with thoughts of joy. So I take that awareness that's out here, and now I put it, because your awareness is the soul light that you are, and I put it back into my body, but I don't make it my body. I'm still like separating my awareness. I know it's getting really deep. All this whole process just to get to the point where I can set an intention, okay? I do it kind of fast, though. It doesn't take a lot of time now that I've practiced it for about a week or so. I've been practicing this past week, so I could give you a good description of what my process is. And so then you go into a space where you're filled with joy. You start feeling every bit of gratitude. And that's one of the steps. That's one of the things that you need to do so that you can get ready to properly set an intention of something that you desire to manifest in your life. A synchronicity that you would like to have occur for you. Maybe we don't call it synchronicity after that. We call it magic, and that we're our own creatics. Just waving our magic wand and setting our intentions on things. So you fill yourself with gratitude. I am grateful to be here on this planet, doing this meditation, taking this time to work for the energy of the collective. I'm so grateful that I get the opportunity, because not only are you helping yourself in this process, but you're also helping the energy of anybody else that's setting an intention in that moment, all throughout the world. All of that, because we are these quantum beings, and time is just, a manifest illusion that we've created for ourselves as humans. And so this is something that we can more easily kind of say, okay, I'm doing this for myself, I'm doing this for other people. So Dana says about she's a sound girl. She loves her mantras. Hi, Crystal. And so she sometimes tries to chant the sound to each chakra. This is perfect example. You take your om or your ah or your oo or your e, and there's also different sounds that you can create for different parts of your body. And maybe I'll get into that on a different live stream. You can look them up, healing sounds. But you send whatever you're doing. And vowel sounds work better when you're just going to want to send it at random places throughout your body, versus the consonant sounds like m or n or m. That when you do those are great for different parts, like for your hearing and for your nose. So when you're using the vowel sounds, though, like she said, like Dana said, you can do it all 7 chakras, and you do that with the intention to clear out and balance your chakras, and then you're feeling all buzzy all over the place because you've just sent this amazing vibration to the energy centers of your own body. And Dana says, yes, like the joy that is already out there and available in the universe. Yes, and we need to capture that joy. And when you slip into the gap, you can go up here, and as your multi-dimensional being self, you have the ability to load up on that joy and that abundance and that bliss. And you send it to every cell of your body. And bliss to me feels like I am in a champagne bottle. Okay, like maybe I had that experience, so I could really know what bubbly is like. But that's the energy that I send to every cell of my body. I'm not like the intention is not champagne and alcohol. The intention is the bubbles, the effervescence, that feeling of just vibrancy. And so that's my intention. And I'll tell you, I did a 15-minute meditation earlier today I was very groggy, very tired. I even had coffee, and I was still like I don't know how I'm going to go live tonight. I'm not going to be very good at remembering what I want to say, or even allowing, spirit to come through. So right before dinner, I did the dishes. I got the whole kitchen cleaned and ready to have my husband so he could make dinner. I was like, I need to do a 15-minute meditation. My husband's like, oh my God, here she goes, like doing all this me time. And so, but I came in with the intention that when I sent that energy, that I was picking up on all of the energy that was available to give me energy. Like I was picking up on the energy to give me energy. So not only was it the joy and the bliss sensation that I was picking up at when I slipped into the gap, to when I slipped out of myself, I was picking up on all of that natural vibrancy and energy. And through my breathing process, I was letting it come into my cells, every part of my being. And then I was exhaling any of that tiredness or that stagnant energy that needed to go. And it was a 15-minute meditation. Okay. It was so beautiful. And I just used a little bit of like background music, but I did my oming and my humming, and the background music was like more like this cosmic-y sounds. It wasn't like any chanting or any mantras, nothing that would distract me. But I, something there because I have kids and they're loud, and I had to put it in here, you know what it's like. So this is what you can do. And when you're in that place, so we're going back to the intention. We're coming full circle. Let me get a drink. So you fill yourself with bliss. You get this feelings of gratitude that you get to be doing this for yourself, and that you get to be experiencing this beautiful cosmic adventure that we call being a human in this time. Which is a little crazy, I admit, but it's also like, whoa, like, let's see what happens because of this situation. There's no way we can walk away from what's going on in the world right now the same as we were before. It's been too long. Like maybe if it was just till spring break. Y'all are back to normal. Like, we would have forgotten it already by now. You know, spring break was ages ago, like an entire whole month. And so, yeah, no, we need to realize that we're not going to come away the same. Something's going to be different, and it's going to be a beautiful difference. I have the intention of finding that beautiful difference. So sometimes when I don't have anything to meditate on, I go in there and I meditate with the intention to find the beautiful things that are happening in my life because of what's going on right now. And it works, you guys. So another thing that you have to let go of in that process that you're getting ready to do your intention is you have to let go of any grievances. So this isn't a grievance, maybe another word for to help anchor this in is you have to have that energy of forgiveness. Okay, especially if you're going into meditation to calm yourself down after an upset from somebody in your life or an experience that you've had within your life, because you can't carry that sort of ego experience into an intention setting process. It's not going to work. You know, if you go in there trying to get back at somebody or to be better than somebody for some reason that's an ego-based sort of comparisons, you got to let go of the grievance. Let go of the grievance. There's no reason to carry it on, and it will completely block your ability to magnetize the thing that you desire in your life, okay? And also, when you go through that process of filling yourself with bliss and then breathing out any grievance, this is what I do. If I actually have an active grievance or something, just like I exhaled the stagnant energy, that was my grievance. I could have used it as an excuse. I'm too tired. Maybe I'm too tired to be an inspiration for people. Like, who wants to listen to somebody who's tired? Like, I mean, I'm not that creative, but these are the things that I go through in my mind is, I just shouldn't do it. Nobody will miss me either. I'm nobody. So I have to let go of all of those grievances, and all of that was the stagnant energy that was keeping me down. So I named it within myself, and it felt like just stagnant energy. I hadn't really started matriculating into actual words being spoken to myself from my ego self that was trying to hold me down. So that was for me, it was just moving the energy before it got to a conscious point. Dana says bliss because it's about spirit and not the physical worries. Yeah. Fear is when we're here with our physical worries and our fears and that sort of energy, it's exact opposite of love. I guess I used to think that like hate was the exact opposite of love, but that's not even necessarily it. If you have this feeling of hatred for somebody or about a situation, it's usually because you're afraid in some way, shape, or form about how that might affect you in some manner, whether it's a direct person or an energy or just what this change, this kind of fear of change. So we have to like Dana's saying, she has to so badly believe in the beautiful difference. And that's something that you don't even have to believe, you don't even have to go based on faith. You can just, with the intention to experience that difference, you go into meditation and you slip into the gap and you find that intention because other people are having it. More and more people, there's been a shift. It's subtle, and there certainly is still a lot of fear stuff on Facebook, but as opposed to the way it was in March, for example, mid to late March when the shelter in place went in effect here for me in California, and we were one of the earlier ones, but there was a lot of fear and there was a lot of anxiety and there was a lot of negativity. And, there was a lot of, and that's fine, there was a lot of changes in everybody's life. And there's a dramatic shift. Now people are asking and they're inquiring and they're reaching out and saying, what is different about your life? And what are you loving? So the whole energy basis has changed. There are more people that are searching and encouraging you to search for, or others to search for, the beauty in this experience that you can pick up on it. You can pick up on it so easily. We're quantum beings. So all you got to do is slip into the gap. So, all right. So I've explained that process of doing some primordial sound or some mantras or whatever it is to get you into the place where you're buzzing inside and you can actually feel yourself become sort of the watcher of the show that is you. You are the awareness out here, above, and that there's you right there. And then as your awareness, you go back into yourself with bliss, love, joy, gratitude, just the most amazing positive feelings that you've ever experienced in your life. You grab those and you send that to yourself. And for me, I've given myself that physical connection and sensation of bubbles, of being very effervescent and bubbly, and like I'm sitting, like my entire insides are the fizzy champagne, for example. So you go there, you're feeling really good, you start to drop your grievances, you start to exhaling anything that is your ego mind holding you down. Okay, you start to let it go. It's gonna want to move. This is the perfect time to start moving it. There's no room for it when it gets all bubbly. It's time to start letting it go. And then you can start setting your intentions, and you just focus for a few moments, a few minutes, maybe 3 minutes, 5 minutes. This whole process takes me about 15 minutes, okay, to get to the point where I've moved myself away from any grievance or any upset, and I've been able to replace that feeling with joy and bliss and gratitude and love, ultimately. Then I can set the intention. And it's just that easy. And I want you guys to practice it. This is a little practice, because you can set the intention, that I want to discover more about my life path and purpose. It could be kind of like general like that. These are great intentions to set. And then you say, okay, I'm going to maybe write that down in your journal, and then you'll start noticing synchronicities. And the more you can put it into some concrete, that's why I say write it down in your journal. If you wanted to post about it on social media, there's certain groups that are very inspirational towards that. You can get into a group where people post about wanting to manifest, and that's something that's welcomed, because again, you're tapping into the quantum energy of so many other people. But there's also a lot of times in those groups that people do a lot of complaining because they're not manifesting the right way. I need to share this in one of those groups. I'll make it a YouTube video and share it. But this is why you have to be really careful and understand that you can very easily pick up on those vibrations of fear without necessarily the intention of doing so, because you're giving it your attention. Okay, so there's all these words sound a little bit the same. Even if you don't intend on picking up the negative energy, you can do so by giving it attention. Okay, so what you give your attention to grows. That's what I want you to keep in mind. And I was doing it. I was at fault for it in March, because I was feeding into everything. And I think a lot of it is there was a lot of unknowns, and then things went down, and they were like, just stay home, don't go anywhere. And I was like, okay, I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm just staying home. And I was able to work through that fear and that, being very, very nervous and scared and unsure, and just no other word but fear. I was very, very afraid. And I was able to replace that feeling with a feeling of love and appreciation and gratitude for the experiences that I'm having now, and not just all the things that I felt like were being changed or taken away from me. Yes, Crystal. Crystal says she's in a lot of those. Those Facebook groups. So it's good if you feel like you wanted to post about it so that you can motivate other people and be part of that. But at the same time, don't get dragged into the negativity of it. And you'll feel it right away. Your body is the best indicator of what's going on. Your heart is the best indicator of what's going on. If you're feeling like you're overflowing, and all of a sudden, I'm starting to have all these ideas, and I have this motivation to maybe go and do some journaling or do some creating. See, for me, it's creating a new healing program. That's when I know I'm really like getting on fire, and I'm coming up over the top of the fear and worry mountain, and I'm able to see all around me, and it looks beautiful, and it's amazing, and the air is clear. What is Dana saying? When you learn that. Yes, absolutely. When you learn that it's okay not to be perfect, that's part of the meditation process. And are you referring to being perfect within your meditation, or just every, I'm speaking to me on the level of my ego stepped in quite a bit when I couldn't be perfect, when I could meditate and then still not be perfect. Like I'm meditated. Why the fuck am I not perfect now? So it's just another forgiveness and grievance release opportunity, just another opportunity to let go, and to forgive yourself. So you're just going to keep having them is what the answer was for me. So Crystal says she has a money group and she only has positive things in there. So this is perfect. This is perfect because you want to be able to really, honestly, you don't want to be the most positive thing in the group. That's a challenge. It's really a challenge. I think in most cases when you're talking about how to have success in your life, it's getting rid of the people who complain, who gossip, who bring your energy down, who are always trying to play the victim. And believe it or not, I've had those experiences with friends and they feel so victimized and everything's going wrong. And then at the end of that, I'm like, well, I guess I need to share about what might be wrong in my life. And I'm like, I don't want to share about that shit. I don't want to talk about that. But like, I'm going to be all like transitioning from your crappy day to how awesome mine is. It's just not worth it. It's too much of a gap. And so you just maybe send them the healing energy in your meditation, of your intention meditation. You send them that intention to help them see that healing and the light and to grab onto that quantum energy of bliss and love and forgiveness and let go of the grievances. But you've got to let yourself be able to separate from it as well. Otherwise, you're not going to get anywhere. There was a lot of years that I spent going around and around and around because I thought I need to serve my community, my friends. I need to serve them. Like, these are the people that I need to heal. But it didn't help me expand it. Like, I was just down all the time. So I've learned a lot about boundaries. Yes, Crystal says she needs to be vulnerable. Let's see. So that's the most beautiful thing, actually, Crystal, what you're saying there. People could read the comments as well. But I guess if this might be up on YouTube, people are like, oh, I don't know what she's saying. She's saying, I want to be vulnerable and share. When I'm sharing on my lives, I'm very vulnerable. She shares about her shadow states, not necessarily when she's in the shadow state. It's afterward, okay? So it's almost like you're in that gap. You've come out and you're like, I am seeing the reason that I had this dark night of the soul experience. And we'll have multiple of them throughout our lives. You're not just going to have one dark night of the soul. I even have a book called Dark Night of the Soul to read next time I venture into my next dark night of the soul. Go figure. But so you don't share necessarily while you're in it. And that's a really beautiful, very, very smart and healing thing to bring up is you come out here and I'm mature enough to know that I'm going to experience this and I'm going to find my way to the other side, and there's going to be a lesson there. The message comes from the message comes out of your mess. The word even just expands to it. From your mess, you get your message. So I've been thinking about that quite a bit lately, actually, because I really want people to be able to learn from my experiences, but I'm still in the middle of that experience, of that young motherhood experience. So it's really getting clarity on my mess of what's going on in my life. And I've set that intention for myself as well to say, okay, I want to start piecing together the experiences that I'm having now into the message that I'm going to be able to support others in later. Oh, hello. Hello, Nuriel. Is this how you say your name, Nuriel? You'll have to tell me if I even said that right. Hello, beautiful. So yeah, let's see if there's any steps that I left out in the process of intention. No, just fill up your meditation after that with gratitude. So it's going to be kind of like a gratitude. Once you slip out of the gap and you've done the beautiful healing light, like you become your own little healer and you send the sound, the primordial sounds to your chakras if you want, or wherever might be causing you an issue. If you're experiencing a lot in your heart, you might just want to do it all about your heart for that particular session. It's okay. You can always come back to it. This is the kind of thing that you can do every time you get ready to go to bed or in the morning before you even get up in the morning. I mean, why not? Like, I used to be kind of embarrassed about the oming and the ahing and the mantras, but then I got over myself. Like, I finally was able to, my ego finally sits down. Finally, that part of me sits down and is like, we're just going to let her do this. She needs to do this. Oh, it's Lauren backwards. Okay. Very nice. I like that. So yes, you give gratitude, you give it that end is the gratitude. And I'm grateful. And I'm grateful for this experience of intention, of creating the synchronicities in my life. So, should we just end it with a few primordial sounds? Let's do it. My husband's showering. Hopefully I won't wake up the baby. I'm going to go with awe, because that particular one, since I work with the codes of awe, that one really works for me. So let's do 3. You can do om, you can do oo, you can do e, like whatever vowel sound you want. And pick a place inside your body to send this to. Right now, I'm going to send it to my heart, because I'm going to go ahead and fill it with the gratitude and the love of you guys that are here, and the energy that's sort of swirling around this little teeny like powwow for tonight, this Sunday stream, Soul Stream Sunday. So we'll do 3. I'm going to close my eyes. Go ahead and inhale. Nice big breath of air right now. My crystal avatar self salutes your crystal avatar self. And I wish you a beautiful evening. Namaste.